Guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is, once again, on Van Halen and the story behind the song Jump. You realize there was a story behind the song? Well, there is, and I'm going to tell you what it is. You ready? By 1984, no rock band was bigger than Van Halen. Originally formed at the early half of the 70s, Van Halen solidified when brothers Alex and Eddie Van Halen recruited bassist Michael Anthony and singer David Lee Roth. After years of playing LA clubs and honing their signature style, the band achieved immediate commercial success with their '78 debut album, Van Halen. 4 top 10 albums followed, moving Van Halen into the realm of stadiums while they spearheaded the growing glam metal movement. There was one mountain the band had yet to ascend, nabbing a #1 pop single. Although they were huge, Van Halen wasn't much of a singles band up to that point. They had 3 covers that all landed in the top 40, You Really Got Me, Oh Pretty Woman, and Dancing in the Street, but only one original, Dance the Night Away. The rest of the music world was finally beginning to catch up to Van Halen's mix of hard rock, heavy metal, and glittery pop swagger, with Motley Crue, Quiet Riot, and Def Leppard all scoring charting singles in '83. With the business finally behind him, all Van Halen needed was a catchy crossover hit that could finally find a home on pop radio. In that respect, Jump is one of the strangest and least likely '1 hits of all time. The composition of the track is both dense and surprisingly complex, featuring a key change and some incredibly syncopated rhythms during the song's guitar solo section. Both barks out its lyrics like a call to action, but the origins of his words related more to suicide than freewheeling good times. Still, Jump had an incredible synth line and the band's catchiest melody at its center, 2 factors pushing Van Halen into the mainstream and pulling the band apart. The story of Jump begins during the recording of 1981's Fair Warning. Eddie Van Halen, a former piano prodigy, had created a new keyboard line with major pop appeal. However, there was a division between those who wanted to embrace synthesizers and who wanted to stick to guitar-based music. Roth and producer Ted Templeman were dubious of adding keyboards to the band's sound, rejecting Van Halen's keyboard line for a number of years. Certain people didn't want me playing keyboards because they thought I should only be a guitar hero, Van Halen later observed to Guitar World. When Van Halen was able to build his own home studio, 5150 Studios, that allowed him the freedom to record just about anything he wanted. The live room originally only had space for Van Halen's guitar rig, Simmons electronic drum kit, and an Oberheim OB-XA synthesizer. The synthesizer provided the iconic tone of Jump keyboard line. Daryl Hall later claimed that Van Halen admitted to pinching Hall & Oates' synth line from Kiss on My List for Jump, but Van Halen himself never confirmed it before his death in 2020. After completing the basic track on his own, Van Halen eventually showed the instrumental of Jump to Templeman, who in turn convinced Roth to write lyrics for the track. After cruising around in his '51 Mercury sports car, Roth recalled a news story about a suicidal jumper in LA. Roth believed that someone would inevitably tell the guy to go ahead and jump, sparking the initial line that eventually became the song's title. The rest of the lyrics deviate from those darker origins, with Roth also claiming that some of the lines were come-ons that he had heard from strippers around that time. Most of Jump doesn't even feature Van Halen playing guitar. The only time he picks up his signature instrument is during the song's solo section, which begins on guitar and eventually transitions into a keyboard solo. Van Halen also insisted on using keyboards to build some of the tracks in '84, most notably the future single I'll Wait. Tracks like Panama, Drop Dead Legs, and Hot for Teacher retained the guitar-focused sound that Van Halen was known for, but it would be Jump that gave the band their first and one and only #1 single. By the end of the '84 tour, Van Halen couldn't have been bigger. A #1 hit, a platinum album, actually a multi-platinum album, and massively successful tour meant that the band should have been celebrating. Instead, Roth decided to split. His debut solo EP, Crazy from the Heart, had produced 2 top 20 hits and even landed Roth a movie deal reportedly worth $20 million. His clashes with the Van Halen brothers over the direction of the band were reaching new peaks, eventually leading to his departure in '85. Van Halen continued on with former Montrose singer Sammy Hagar as their new singer. landing 4 consecutive #1 albums, but Van Halen never again reached the pop single summit of Jump. I saw Van Halen. I'm not sure what year it was, but it was Hagar, Sammy Hagar, and they was getting ready to do Jump, and they went into it, and at the end of the song, when the keyboard comes back in, you see Eddie Van Halen running across the stage towards the keyboards, and they started playing before he got there. So it was all programmed, but it was a fun concert, what I remember of it. It's been a long time ago. Kind of a dark story behind the title anyway, or that one line is pretty kind of sad, actually. But great song. Whenever I hear that synth play at the beginning, anywhere, it makes me get up. It makes me want to dance. I love that song. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia. It's on MASH. Really good comedy show. Hope you all like it, because I do. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Have a great day. God bless. Praying for you.